Hey, John, that's a wonderful daily word for today. I love the whole idea and concept of grace. Grace being a blessing that we didn't earn. It's called an unearned and unmerited gift to us from our Creator. It is always a blessing and always a loving. I spoke through the meditation I heard coming through about my tendency to be self-critical. And I know that others share that tendency with me to be self-critical and to be self-judgmental, to pretend that there is some higher place that I should have arrived at by now that I am not there yet, to pretend that I should be beyond all manners of dysfunction, that I should have overcome my capacity to be impacted by my earthly experiences. Tendency for me to believe that I should not have any moments of confusion or any moments of sadness, and certainly no moments of despair. My self-critic is pretty much hushed up for the most part, but used to be so loud and in my face. As a minister of God, particularly, I used the fact that I was a voice for God to believe that I should be in a perfect, consistent, never-ending stream of being connected. So connected that I was beyond being impacted by the trials and tribulations and tests of living life on planet Earth, a spirit awakening to itself. I was so self-critical at some point that I thought I should never have a single moment other than being blissed out by knowing that the five principles are true and that the Course in Miracles teachings are true and that the science of mind teachings are true. As a minister who was called forth to bring forward and to share some of the tenets of the unity teachings and philosophy and science of mind and A Course in Miracles, I thought certainly that I should never have a moment of forgetting, never have a moment of having a human experience. And for a while, I was in a honeymoon stage with life, where it appeared that because of everything I knew and everything I was concentrating on, everything I had come to deeply believe, it appeared for a while that none of my roses had thorns attached to the stems. It seemed for a while that whatever I wished seemed to be a command to the genie who ran the universe, and what I wished for came to me. During that honeymoon period, my cup was running over with health. My cup was running over with prosperity. My cup was running over with holy relationships. What a wonderful honeymoon period that was. But that honeymoon period did not last. And when it began to unravel, I became a very, very, very strict disciplinarian of Carlos Wayne Anderson. I became a very, very picky critic of him, knowing I am a heavenly creature and a heavenly creation. I judged myself for having a human experience. This was not anything going wrong. This was an opportunity for me to recognize that I am fully human, just as I am fully divine. I went through this period of such deep critique of me that I exhausted it. And one day I just had no more in me, no more energy to critique me. I shut up the voice of the inner critic. I moved away from that inner judge of Carlos Wayne Anderson. I was utterly exhausted with self-condemnation, thinking I should be other than who I am in any given moment. That opened me up to being still enough to hear a quiet voice within me. And the things that this quiet voice spoke, I have forwarded over the years to others who have noticed within them the capacity to be very self-critical and self-judgmental, believing they should be beyond the point of where they are, that they should not be experiencing their experience. They should get their act together, drop the human thing, just be the spirit self. What the quiet voice spoke was this, and I'm sure I must have shared it with you before, but for its own reason, Spirit is speaking through my mouth to share it again. It invited me to embrace the whole of me, to embrace the fullness of my humanity as I embrace the fullness of my divinity, to embrace the fullness of my feelings by feeling them. I was not instructed to own my feelings, which many teachers have forwarded. Own your feelings, own your feelings. This voice invited me not to own them as though they were something to possess and to keep, but to feel them. Because feelings arise from within us to be felt and to befriend them. I was told that if you feel a feeling, if you fully feel the feeling you're feeling, you honor it. You give it what it has presented to receive. Your feeling of the feeling. I was told that if you fully feel your feelings, their work can be done. And they can bow and exit the stage. But if you do not feel your feelings, you push them down, deep down, into the deeper realms of your consciousness, into what is called the subconsciousness or the unconsciousness, where all creation takes place. That if I don't feel my feelings and honor what I'm feeling, quite often that can translate into a feeling of dis-ease, which can give rise to a manifestation of disease. Being on a spiritual path, learning of our capacity to live in heaven on planet Earth, every moment of every hour of every day, know that that is the goal. but that we should be honoring ourselves of right where we are on the path to achieving the moreness and the moreness and the moreness of that goal of mastering being in heaven on planet Earth. I encourage people not to judge themselves as I did, for according to my own take on things, falling short of the glory of God, because something devastating devastated me, because something heartbreaking broke my heart, because something confusing confused me. It is all on purpose, said the voice. Everything is on God's purpose. Quit making friends of some of your feelings while making enemies of other of your feelings. Quit calling happy good and sad bad. Quit calling joyful good and depressed bad. Know that to everything there is a season. There will be a time to dance and shout out for joy. And there will be a time to curl up in a fetal position and grieve and mourn. To everything there is a season. Honor all of the seasons. When is it okay to be sad? When you feel sad. When is it okay to feel upset? When you feel upset. If you push away, judge away, squash away these feelings, your mind is at dis-ease. You cannot self-condemn and be at ease. And thoughts of dis-ease, married to feelings of dis-ease, are fertile soil for the development of physical dis-ease. I was told to love myself when I function or dysfunction. In all of the moments, in all of the arena of the feelings that arise from within me to be felt. I was informed that if you do not allow yourself to feel your sadness when you feel sad, if you push it away, judge it away, think something's wrong with it, you're not giving it what feelings have come for. They have arisen to be felt. And when you feel them, you honor them, and they are free to bow and exit the stage. They are free to move through you. It is okay to feel the full gamut of the available feelings there are to feel as a human being living on this planet. This is what you signed up for, said the quiet voice. To experience the fullness of your humanity while being aware of the fullness of your spirituality. When is it okay to feel lost? When you feel lost. To everything there is a season. I remember in the aftermath of the biggest loss my life has experienced. The four men in my life, one year after another, my father, my brother, my best friend Danny, my partner Johnny. I thought that the universe had played a trick on me, giving me these people to love so completely and so deeply. And then to have them lost to my life, one after another, back to back. And the voice said, although you might not be able to know it right now, love is everlasting. I found myself crying one day saying, I wish I had never loved them so much, 'cause then I wouldn't be hurting so much. That didn't last long. Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote in one of his poems, it is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. That's what I came to know through experience. I believe I shared with you all that some of our treks through the valley of the shadow of death are more intense than others. Some can experientially appear to be so intense that it takes a great deal of effort to keep putting one foot in front of another foot in front of another foot, trekking on. Yet it is possible to trek on. Various levels of intensity, and all of them on purpose. It is a beautiful thing to live the truth of the statement, no test, no testimony. No test, no testimony of how I got over. How I got over. My soul looks back and is blown away that I got over. Wow. When is it okay for me to feel blessed? When I feel blessed. When is it okay for me to feel afraid? When I feel afraid. Feel your feelings. That's what they have arisen for. If you feel them, their work is done. They bow and exit your stage. And please, 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 do your very best along with me to withdraw your critique, your judgment of yourself for being right where you are in any moment of your unfoldment. Everything is on purpose. I told you about watching a movie of two best friends. They were from the South. They were sitting at a table under the influence of one of them's deep, deep loss. Deep loss, a loss so deep that it signified the deepest and darkest walk through the valley of the shadow that this woman had ever been required to trek through. And she said to her friend, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it through today or tomorrow or the day after that. And her friend reached over and laid her hand on the hand of her friend. She said, honey, child, sometime all you can do is suck a breath in and push it out. And suck another breath in and push it out. Repeat. 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 When I saw that movie, I was sitting in my bedroom. And when she said that, I cried like a baby. It was like a balm. It was a blessing. It was the truth of the human experience. It is better to have loved and lost, Mr. Tennyson, than to never have loved at all. Even if in the wake of the presence being gone of those we love, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Yes, Mr. Tennyson, I am a witness. The sadness I felt fully. And one day, it took its bow. It exited the stage of my day-to-day life experience. And it left me a better man, a better human being, a better preacher, a better me. God is in heaven. Heaven is in you. Holy is your name. God wants you to know you have nothing to fear and that there is nothing and to no one to blame. You've been informed. Your captivity is over. You've been informed. In truth, you're free. And so it is. These teachings are to empower us. Let us not use these teachings to critique ourselves, to judge ourselves, to convince ourselves that we are lacking or falling short. Let us use these teachings to liberate ourselves from our capacity to think something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me. I am in the right place at the right time, being the right self, unfolding into a greater and grander sense of self. I am the holy child of God, in whom God is well pleased. I have been invited to share the mind of Christ along with Jesus, and to share the opinion of the Creator that the Creator holds of me. You are my holy child, in whom I am well pleased. No matter what I've ever thought of myself, God has only thought one thing. And this is the testimony I have come to know about my Creator. He loves him some me. He loves him some me. God loves him some me. And that will never change. I can relax now. I can let go. I can let God. I can feel the full gamut of any feeling that arises within me. I will not own my feelings. That would be to possess them, and they have not arisen to be possessed and held, but to be acknowledged that they may pass through. To everything, there is a season. I don't know what season you are living in your life right now, but I do know it is worthy of being honored. I don't know what major theme of feelings have arisen within you to be felt right now, but I do know they are worthy of being felt. That they might have completed their mission, which is to be felt, so they can bow and exit the stage, making room for the next feeling to arise to be felt. This one thing I know: weeping may endure for a night, but joy, joy, joy cometh in the morning. By grace I live. By grace I am released. I share God's will for happiness for me. I feel the love of God within me now. So let me recognize my problems have been solved. The words of Jesus through A Course in Miracles. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. So be it. So let me let it be. Salam alaikum and shalom to you. Peace.